So at what point did she realize that her dog ate rat poison? Like, how long did it take before she realized?
I think she noticed it pretty much right away, but she said she, like, yelled at him, then he spit it out, so she wasn't for sure if he ate it. So she brought in, like, the little pellets, and they were, like, these bright green pellets, and when he threw up, nothing looked like that in the vomit, so we're thinking that he didn't, but they still did everything just in case.
Like, she caught the dog about to eat?
Yeah, like, she was like, hey, what are you doing? And then he, like, spit it out, but she still wasn't sure if he had swallowed any prior to that.
Who puts rat poison on the ground next where animals can find it anyway?
People are stupid. They just...
And then these other people, they let their dog eat a rock?
People are like, oh, yeah, he eats rocks all the time. The doctor's like, oh, yeah, maybe you shouldn't let him do that, because that's dangerous. Oh, and then yesterday, a cat came in for her vomiting, not eating. They did an x-ray, and they found this weird, like, C-shaped thing in its stomach and the intestines, so the doctor had to go in. They call it an exploratory, where they go in, and they're pretty much just moving things around inside to find what's in there. And it was a rubber band with, like, a bunch of, like, a big, thick hairball stuck to it. So they had to take that out.
Whoa. Wow.
Yeah, we've...
What kind of dog does Frank Darabont have?
He has 2 small dogs. I think they're, like, terrier mixes.
And this is the first time you've seen him there?
Yeah, he could have been there before, and I would have had no idea if no one...
Did anyone say anything like, oh my god, it's that guy, the guy who wrote Green Mile, you know, or like...
No, like, clients don't really recognize... Because a lot of time, like, especially actresses will come in without makeup, not their hair undone, on purpose, because they don't want people to recognize them.
Who are some of the people that you recognize that you're like, ooh, I can't quite put my finger on it, and then after they left, you Google it, and you're like, okay, it's this guy, I think it might be that...
There's that one lady I told you that was... She used to have a show on, like, HBO or Showtime years ago, but she was also on that Black Mirror show. She was the mom of that girl that had the thing implanted in her. Yeah. She's been in some other stuff. I can't remember what her name is. But I actually talked to her, and she was really nice. And at first I didn't recognize her because she had no makeup on and just, you know.
So how'd you recognize it was her? Did you see the episode first and then you saw her? Did you see her and then you're like, then you saw the episode?
No, I remember. I was like, where have I seen her from? Because I had seen the show that she was a regular actress on.
Oh.
Christian and I used to watch it, like, years ago. Her sister on the show had, like, multiple personality disorder, and she was the sister of the lady. And so it was, like, so long ago, I was like, where have I seen her? But then, actually, I ended up seeing that episode of that Black Mirror show, like, a couple days after she had come into work.
Oh!
And I was like, oh my god, there she is,
oh,
you know?
That's incredible.
Yeah.
Look at that, she popped right up. She's like, here I am.
Yeah.
That's incredible. And then you saw Amy Mann there, right?
Yeah.
Has she come back?
No.
Since you've been there?
I don't think so. Maybe once.
What? There was another... You were talking about another...
Sean Penn's brother.
Oh, Michael Penn.
Yeah, I think that's him.
Michael Penn is married, right, to Amy Mann, I think?
Yeah, he's married to
I
her.
think that's what it is.
Yeah, sometimes he'll come in by himself.
Wow.
Yeah, they're all...
Guys, quit fighting. Sheesh.
They're all pretty nice, though. It's like you think you're going to get starstruck, you know, and then... Like
who's the other guy? You said there's another guy. Was that the guy who's in the movie, not the Shadow, the Spirit? Wait, let me see. Would you know his name if I found it? I thought I remember you telling...
Well, the other guy that's married to your friend Healy, he came in.
Oh, really?
I didn't even know they were married.
Yeah, I didn't realize that after till I went investigating and found out they were both in The Purge together, and then I found out they were married.
Oh, that's probably how we met.
So did you say this... Well, it's tough because he's got his mask on, but... Gabriel Macht? Didn't you say he was in it? Well, that's what he looks like with the spirit mask on. Does that...
Hey! Stop it! No!
God.
What is the deal?
Guys? Does he look like... Oh, wait, here he is without the mask. Did you say that guy was in there?
He looks kind of familiar. He might have been.
For some reason, I
What
thought
else?
you had told me. And was that so? That was.
Yeah, a lot of them are like smaller, been in like smaller. Like shows or movies, not like big time.
Like stuff that you would see, like you're like, oh, I've seen that person in this movie or TV show, but like you really wouldn't be able to put your finger on who they were, type of
Yeah.
person.
Like maybe someone that hasn't been in like a ton of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Just lucky Joe's over.
Oh, good God. Oh, good God.
Inspirado, Projecto. Good morning, afternoon, evening, whatever internet time, whatever internet place we're meeting. I just had to ring and share some exciting news. I got a really impressive single heading out soon. It's impressing the socks off me. A friend on Facebook has done it for me, and he's just a genius. What he's done so far has turned the song from into wow. So, yeah, I'm excited, and I had to share that I'm excited. I'm excited. So, yeah. I'm balancing a kid and a coffee on my lap at the same time. Fiona, say good morning. You too sick to even say good morning? We've been practicing Inspirado Projecto, haven't we?
Thank you so much, Undies Funded, for that extraordinary sentiment. Thank you for letting me know about something that excites you. Please let me know wherever I can find your stuff. I also have my radio station, or my show is on a radio station, K-Chung 1630 AM, the first and third Monday of each month, and I'd love to play your music on the air so you can say that your music officially played on the radio in Los Angeles. How fun would that be to say? I always love getting submissions, and I love playing stuff on there. So if you want, you can leave me a message here, or you can send me an email to inspiradoprojecto@gmail.com, and that way I'll have the MP3 or whatnot, and I can just plug it right into my show next time it's on. So thank you for that. Also, I've been thinking about this idea. It's so funny. I've allowed myself, see, this is what's so funny. I've tested myself to handle a whole bunch of stuff at once by saying yes to a lot of things that closely resonate with my heart. Now, I would like to believe that those circumstances would not provide themselves to me, make themselves available to me, if I was not able to handle them appropriately. I don't know if that's the right word. If I wasn't able to handle them, I highly doubt my higher mind would place these particular, what should I call them? Invitations, these circumstances, these tantalizing bait, this this enlightening, what's the word? Attractive vibe. I really don't think that I would be presented with opportunities to say yes to if I wasn't able to handle them by saying yes, and by handling them in a slow, not slow necessarily, but a relaxed, smooth fashion, not feeling like the water's filling up fast, not feeling like the rock is getting bigger as you push it up the hill. Not feeling as if the anchors are getting more heavy along your ankles. I just thought of, as a side note, wouldn't it be funny if a character called Uncle Ankle? Uncle Ankle. Uncle Ankle. Maybe he's, I'm just imagining, it's like, that sounds like a great, like, Czechoslovakian, you know, every country, state, you know, town, they all kind of have their own traditions, their own sort of games. I'm imagining like those lumberjack games, you know, they run on a log in the water, or they throw a huge, like, you know, huge log, see how far they could throw it, or climb a tree. Maybe there's, you know, like, I'm just imagining like Czechoslovakia, like, there's like a certain town where it's just really revered. It's just highly respected if you have huge ankles. So maybe this Uncle Ankle comes to visit. He comes into town to visit for the very first time. He's like the Uncle, what's his name? John Candy. And you guys in the audience know who. Uncle, you guys know. But Uncle Ankle comes into town. He's got these humongous ankles. And they're like, what is the deal with your uncle? And they find out it's like he's got superpowers. I mean, not only can he jump, for some reason it helps him to jump really high and far. He's also able to kick down big obstructions. He's like the Popeye, but of legs. Oh my God, I've never seen that before. The Popeye of legs. Just humongous calves. His ankles are just, it's like, the ankles are so huge they're bigger than the calves, let's put it that way. It's kind of like, I almost imagine like bell bottoms possibly. Oh boy, the cats are coming out. That must mean that Jenny's coming home. So Uncle Ankle, that's what I was imagining. So I'm back to this whole film festival thing. I'm learning that the more I have fun, and I'm learning to. I'm looking through this math, I'm finding the fun in it. I'm finding the patterns. That's what I need to do. Play with it as if it's a video game. As if it's my most favorite video game ever. My most favorite board game of all time. And I would say that's... Now, I'm not going to count Uno as a board game. I'd say that's my favorite card game, aside from Pasoi. My favorite board game is Mad Magazine board game, which I never actually had growing up. I also liked Operation. That was very intense. There was also this game that my grandma and grandpa had. They always had all these great board games. They had this board game. It was all wood, and it had this steel ball. And it had like this maze with all these little holes all over the board. And you had these two dials, one that would move it left and right, and one that would move it east and west, north and south. And so you'd have to shimmy this board around to make sure this little steel ball got from one end of the board to the other. And I never actually did that. There's also another one where this guy would balance on his nose, and you could keep putting like heavy objects on his arms. He had like these little sticks. Oh, check this out. I just made ozonated water. I just put it on a number 4. All right, this is what I'm going to do. This is a banana. Okay, here we go. Where can I put this thing? Whoa, that scared the shite out of me. These little booby traps. You know, my brother Josh and I would always intentionally leave these little booby traps for one another in the, I almost call it the icebox, in the freezer. We knew that someone else was going to get it. We balanced something precariously on the edge, and then we knew that whoever opened it would come tumbling down. So it became sort of this silent little game. No one actually like came out with it and said, you know what, I'm leaving this for you. It was like an Easter egg. You didn't know who it was gonna get blasted until, oh shit, I just dropped my banana on the ground, man. There you go. That was kind of an unintended booby trap, right? I just dropped my banana on the ground. We're gonna start with a new one, the last one. This is the last one. How many bananas do you know? This is the last one. How many bananas do you know? Hello, I'm Sean Connery. I'm Sean Connery, and I'm going to show you how to make ozonated, watered banana and peanut butter shake. Hello. It's one of the few times I've gone to do a Sean Connery. I can kind of barely do it. Hello there, I'm Sean. Hello, good day. Good day, I'm Sean. Good day, I'm Sean Connery. I am Sean Connery. Some people know me as James Bond. Some people know me as James Bond. Others know me as Gandalf. and others yet know me as Obi-Wan Kenobi. Some know me as James Bond. Others know me as Gandalf. And yet still others know me as the Star Trek Next Generation Captain. Captain Stubing, I believe it was. I was the USS Enterprise, that's right. The USS Enterprise. I never flew a spaceship. I flew a boat, a yacht. And I played Captain Stubing on that Star Trek. Oh, that's right. That's right. How many Captain Stubings do you know? How many Captain Stubings do you know? I am the last one. I am the last Captain Stubing you know. I am the last Captain Stubing you know. You might recognize me from such action-packed films as James Bond. As James Bond, the Batman television show, Gandalf. Gandalf in the movie Harry Potter and the Goblet of Brimstone. How many wizards do you know? That's right. That's right. I played Obi-Wan Kenobi in Harry Potter and the Goblet of Brimstone. How many goblets of brimstone do you know? I am the last goblet. I am the last brimstone goblet collector. You know. I am the last one you know. You might recognize me as the swordsman from Excalibur. Some called me the Highlander. You might recognize me as Gandalf from Harry Potter and the Goblet of Brimstone. You might also recognize me as the voice of the dragon in the movie Avatar. These things happen. They call me to do things like this all the time. You might recognize me as playing the part of Kojak in the movie version of Kojak titled The X-Men. X marks the spot, I always say.
You might recognize me as Darby O'Gills. In the movie The Leprechaun. How many leprechauns do you know? How many leprechauns do you know?
So, basically, folks, number one, that banana shake was good. It was good. It was good. It was so good. I have to admit, it was very good. It was very good. I have to admit. It tasted good. It tasted real good. It's 4:08 a.m. today. 8 plus 12. 8 plus 4 is number 12, and 2 plus 1 is 3. It's true, ladies and gentlemen. Actually, if you look at that 8 right now, you can make 2 5s out of it. Or S's. Interesting. A 4 is kind of a Y, isn't it? Just realize that. 0 is an O. I don't know. So I was thinking, with this whole kapow business, putting these movies together, it's really a joy. I found the joy in it. I got past the point of being intimidated by it. It's that syndrome. We all get it. Maybe you're listening to this right now and you're in high school. You came across this podcast. Which, by the way, feel free to do a book report about this. I am available. If you need me to speak at your school, ask me. I will say yes, and I will make a podcast out of it the whole time. Perhaps you're listening to this and you know what I'm talking about. There's that science project or that book report, that special assignment that you have got to do. They want you to do it. And it's got a due date. And there are consequences. There are rewards and there are consequences. To this. There are. To the science project situation. Let's say you get 3 weeks. I go, you got 3 weeks. You're like, oh my gosh. And then the last 2 days, you just go, and you create some kind of magical thing. And then you say to yourself, good God, why did I wait so long to make that happen? When I could have just done it in the first place and then spent all this time instead editing it, or even sharpening it, making it better, crafting it. Sometimes, the diamond is made out of coal. Pearl is made out of the clam, out of the sand, all squinched up in there. It's incredible how that is, right? It's incredible. So it's like that pressure. Believe me, I don't want to believe that pressure is good. In this instance, I've just noticed the direct correlation between Sort of the pressure and the amount of importance we define it as, you know, the amount of power we give it, we decide, okay, oh my gosh, but then after a while we get more and more familiar with the subject. And then it gets easier and easier and easier to approach it. It doesn't become this unknown giant. So knowing what I know, see, this is all about trusting the process. Neville Goddard, he talks about creating our life with our dreamings. Well, that's something I really ought to be doing, isn't it? Maybe it's time for me to start listening to more of this stuff, start training my Jedi abilities, and plugging in, turning on, tuning in, dropping out. I think it's time for that. So, that's what I'm learning. And I think what's great is, what's very therapeutic, what's awesome is, even if I rarely go back and listen to this, what's great is that at least I'm saying out loud, it's reflecting, I'm listening to it. I get to choose whether I want to believe what I'm saying right there. I get to choose my authenticity. Am I being authentic? It's interesting. It is very interesting. One person's authentic self is another person's craziness. One person's natural, authentic self is another person's personality pushed to the limit, to the brim. To the brim. So, well, I was just thinking of a person on the edge. It's like that's when the decision is made, when you're on the edge. You know, you're on the edge. There you are. We're going to jump off. Here comes the tiger around the bend. Here comes the tiger around the bend. Watch out. Jack Nicholson is turned into a werewolf, and that's the last thing in the world that you want to have happen. You understand me, compadre? Listen, compadre, between you and me and the redwood tree. Listen close, Kimosabi. I simply asked for an egg sandwich. Put a little dollop of mayonnaise on there, and I think we're all gonna be just fine, if you catch my drift. So listen, sweetheart. Put my egg sandwich with the dollop of mayonnaise and mustard on the other side. A slice of pepper jack cheese. 1 leaf of iceberg lettuce, if you catch my drift. I'd also like some of that secret sauce you put on your cheeseburgers. Can you also please season it with a little bit of Mrs. Dash? Perhaps some Bacos, What I'd really appreciate is some fresh ground. Oh, dare I say it? Do I sound too much like a maniac? What the hell? I've gone this far. Why not ask? I want some fresh ground garlic. Do you read my lips? Read 'em.
don't weep. I can't stand it when people cry around me. Every time I hear a baby cry in my near vicinity, my throat clenches up and the tears well up in my eyes, and I start blubbering like a little adolescent child who just had his Cabbage Patch doll taken away from him. If you catch my drift, compadre. Hey, Tonto, between you and me and Silver here, what do you say we go chase those bad guys who just stole that little carriage? I mean, look at that farm family is over there crying and quivering in the gutters of the old West. What do you say? What do you say, compadre?
I say, we go get them, Kimosabi.
Well, I'd say, Tonto, that's some of the best wisdom you've given all day. Hell, every time you say something, maybe you're just making it up off the top of your head, but every time you say something, I believe it 100%. So, Tonto, should we giddy up over there, yonder upon that hill pasture in the northwest corner, the southwest side of this canyon? 'Cause, man, I'll tell you right now, I got an itchy trigger finger, okay? My knuckles are tingling and my fingers are twitching. And these guns, they got a hair trigger. Alright? If you catch my drift. Hi-ho, Silver, away! Away! Hey, don't look at me. I'm just a wolf wearing a mask on my eyes. I'm trying to hide my identity. 'Cause listen, compadre, it ain't easy for me either. I got the law after me, okay? Let's just say I fought the law and the law won on many, too many occasions. Let's just put it this way. Out here, yonder, let's just say, compadre, they don't take too kindly to, how dare I put it kindly, werewolves, okay? They don't take kindly to werewolves. If you catch my drift, compadre.
How many werewolves do you know?
I don't really know any werewolves. I'm the only werewolf I know. And you're the only dragon I know.
That's right. You're the only werewolf I know.
And you're the only dragon I know.
And you're the only werewolf.
And you're the only dragon.
And you, my friend, are the only lycanthrope.
And you're the only, winged lizard.
And you're the only canine, scary canine, that I know.
And you're the only, reptilian, flying reptile, there you go, flying iguana that I know.
Very intriguing.
Yes, indeed. How did we end up here in the medieval times, huh, compadre?
Well, I don't know. I went across this ridge, and before I knew it, here I was.
Hey, Tonto, do you see what I see, or is this a ghost?
No, Kimosabi. This here is a real earthling.
Well, I thought I was a dragon.
Yeah, he looks like a dragon to me.
No, he is earthling.
Well, whatever's going on here, it seems to be pretty mystical. Can everyone agree here?
How?
I don't know how it happened either. I have no idea how it happened. what do you say we find a tavern around here and get a little bit of scotch, in our bloodstream, Mr. Dragon?
Why, that sounds wonderful, Mr. Wolfman.
All right. Hi-ho, Silver. Away.
Here's your fun fact. In the 1920s, the Hollywood sign was lit by thousands of light bulbs, and the guy who changed the burnt-out ones lived in a little cabin near this sign. Stay tuned to Inspirado Projecto for more fun facts.
Ladies and gentlemen, I've just been informed by a voice teacher of mine. He goes by the name Albert Williams on Facebook. He's the teacher. Actually, what's interesting, I just got done watching because Leonard Bernstein's birthday happened recently. He turned 100. He turned Undie. And what's funny is a few days ago, Tommy Bowie from Yachtly Crew showed me a photo of, I guess there's this Leonard Bernstein exhibit at one of the museums out here. And so he immediately thought of me because before sound check, I always sing West Side Story songs. The first musical I ever was in, the only musical I've ever been in, as far as I know, as far as this incarnation knows. So, Leonard Bernstein's birthday. So, what's interesting, or yeah, so he showed me that photo of the exhibit. He sent it to me, and then I found out that Leonard Bernstein's birthday, 100. Didn't even know that guy was still alive. That's fantastic. Still making music. And it's interesting because that came on the heels of learning about the Archivist virtual reality game that I contributed voices to. Now, the reason why that's astonishing is the Archivist is based in the Twin Peaks universe. Now, within the Twin Peaks universe is Dr. Jacoby and Ben Horn. Ben Horn plays the part of Tony, the guy who plays Ben Horn. Richard Bamer, I believe his name is. I'm not near my computer right now. So the guy who plays Tony in West Side Story plays Ben Horn in Twin Peaks. The guy who plays Riff in West Side Story plays Dr. Jacoby in Twin Peaks. And the only time in that show, in Twin Peaks, where you ever saw those two guys together, where they ever shared a scene, it was in season 2. And Dr. Jacoby is like the town psychiatrist, so to speak. And Ben Horn flips out. He thinks he's in the Civil War. So that's the only time where you end up seeing Riff and Tony, so to speak, on the same screen in Twin Peaks. It's amazing. It's amazing how it all fit together. It's astounding. And so now here's the extra interesting synchronistic part about this, is that I had just watched watching the West Side Story piece where they're singing Something's Coming. Could be, who knows? There's something due any day. I will know right away as soon as it shows. Etc., etc. So I was watching that, and I ended up getting a message from Albert Williams from Columbia College. He was my singing teacher
He taught us how to sing from the diaphragm. Ho, 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 sing from the diaphragm. Could be, who knows? There's something due any day. I will know right away, soon as it shows. It may come cannonballing down through the sky, gleaming its eye, bright as a rose. Who knows? It's only just out of reach, down the block on a beach, under a tree. Oh, I got a feeling there's a miracle due, gonna come true, coming to me. Will it be? Yes, it will. Maybe just by holding still, it'll be there. Etc., etc. So, Albert Williams was my teacher on that. Funny thing is, right here on Facebook, he ends up sending me this. He sent me a little message here. Right as I was watching that, he goes, "Hi, Kurt. I wanted to make sure you knew about the upcoming Columbia College Theater reunion. October 19th and 20th. If you can come in for the event, that would be great. I've got it at this link. Please share this with your fellow alumni." I said, "Thank you for letting me know. Ideally, I'll be able to make it out there for it." And they go, "That would be wonderful. And if you can give it a plug on your radio show, cool." So I figured the next best thing, the most immediate thing, is the podcast, Inspirado Projecto, which you're listening to right now. So here we go. To any of you Columbia College theater folks, if you're able to make it out there. It says here, Theater Reunion Weekend, October 19th and 20th, 2018. Join us to celebrate the newly renovated Getz Theater Center with alumni, faculty, students, and special guests. The Theater Reunion Weekend features a special performance of our 2018 and 19 main stage season opener, The Penelopiad, by Margaret Atwood, as well as receptions, industry breakout sessions with distinguished alumni, building tours, and a keynote talk with alum Anna D. Shapiro, 1990. Artistic Director of Steppenwolf Theater. So, on Friday, October 19th, Alumni Night Performance Reception, 5 p.m., Evening Alumni Reception, 7 p.m., Remarks from Special Guests, 7:30, Performance of Penelopiad. Saturday, Alumni Open House, 9 a.m., Alumni Breakfast, 10 a.m., Featured Speaker, Anna D. Shapiro. 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. Industry Breakout Session Panels. Times and details below. 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. Tours of the Getz Theater Center. 2 p.m. on-campus activities conclude. Wow, there's some wonderful, wonderful people that I have met at Columbia College, who I am still in contact with to this day. I still collaborate with to this day. Orion Barnes is one of them. If you get a chance, check out Deadpool the Musical. They just came out with Deadpool the Musical Part 2. Oh my God. Phenomenal. Phenomenal. These are the ways that I have always envisioned superhero movies to be. These guys pull it off. You actually see Wolverine with a mask on, and he's wearing yellow and blue. He's got the black stripes on his chest. Good God. Every one of these folks, they look the way that they do in the comic, except for Hawkeye. If they're going to go that far with it, they might as well have had Hawkeye in his purple suit with his purple mask, but that's like the one, that's just one of the things. But the costumes, colorful, I would say. I would even go the European route on this one. Very colorful. The behavior of the characters are extraordinary. Extraordinary. Oh, I finally realized that Willy Nelson is here, and he wants to say a few words. Why, hello there. This is Willy Nelson. Did you know I once smoked a marijuana cigarette on the White House ceiling? I did that a long time ago. Me and Richard Nixon, we shared a marijuana cigarette on the White House ceiling many, many years ago. And then I pulled out my hip flask with my wild turkey. We guzzled it down, and yeehaw, we sure did a do-si-do up there. And then I pulled out my favorite guitar, and I sang him this. Blue moon, you saw me standing alone, etc., to call my own. That's what we did up there on the White House ceiling.
Thank you, Willie Nelson. Thank you so much.
Well, thank you for having me by. Take care. I'm going to go smoke a marijuana cigarette up on the ceiling of this apartment complex.
All right. Do whatever you want. You're Willie Nelson. So, folks, if you're part of Columbia College, if you like Columbia College, if you value the education that sprouts forth through Columbia College, then please visit, check it out. Orion Barnes, by the way. He's an agent out here now. Phenomenal guy. He's in Deadpool the musical. He plays Doctor Strange. God, the wire work in this thing, the banter between the characters, the choreography. Good gods. The song itself, it's almost like something out of a Disney film. It's really amazing. So, I mean, a lot of surprises in there. You're going to dig it. So, yeah, there are a lot of folks I'm still in contact with from Columbia College. Jamie Lee Wise, for instance, who I just had on the radio show, who I just had on K-Chung with James Scott Burnside. Burnside went to Columbia College, and we went there at the same time, but I don't remember actually meeting him. I don't remember meeting him back then. However, the good news is I know him now. That's why I'm able to have him on the radio show. It's always a joy to be able to put people onto that radio show, and of course the podcast. By the way, folks, if you're out there in the Dana Point area, check out Yacht Lead Crew tonight, 9 p.m. That is, in fact, a niner. 9 p.m., Dana Point, Stillwater, Spirits and Sound. Stillwater, Spirits and Sound. So, check it out. If you want, it's a free show. We always have a wonderful, wonderful vibe out there at Stillwater. Everybody is always so gracious and wonderful vibes. Gonzo kitty. What a good little guy. You're such a good little guy. You're such a good little guy. You know that. How do you sleep with your eyes open? How do you do that? How do you do that? I don't get it. How do you do that? Just lost in dream world with your eyes open, man. Maybe that's the way to go. That is the way to go. To blend waking life with dreaming life. Dream with your eyes open. There you go. Dream with your eyes open. And then that solves the manifestation of reality situation. Right? Because a lot of times we're like, when is this thing going to get manifested? I got this idea. I'm excited about this thing. I want to go on this vacation. And so we have that desire of wanting it to happen now. Now. In our dreams, we can do that almost immediately. You say, oh, I feel like the tick. And next thing you know, I wonder if I'm the tick. And next thing you know, you're dressed like the tick, running around, jumping, falling, dive rolling, etc., and so forth. Manifestation of reality, yeah. That horn out there that you just heard honk, that agrees. That agrees. Another beautiful day on the balcony. Oh, little birdies all hanging out on that telephone wire. Little birdies hanging out on the telephone wire. Fresh. The air is fresh. Hi, Gonzo. The air is fresh out there. You want to go out there? You want to go out there? Yeah. The air is fresh. Check it out. Check it out. Interesting sound. There's a lot of activity out there, huh? Dog, sounds like a dog. Car backing up. Person putting... Wow. As if we just opened up the sound file on my hard drive of all the different sounds. Sound effects, and they're all playing all at once. So check out Yachtly Crew tonight if you can. Wear a captain's hat if you like. It's always best if you wear a captain's hat. It gets you more into it, dials you into it more and more and more. I guess there's a, that's what I'm thinking of. Sort of there's a shock that happens to folks when they first view it. And they're trying to wrap their brains around what's going on. And then it becomes this thing of just realizing that we're carving a whole new separate reality. We're sculpting something for people to then just live within. If you get a chance, check it out. It's going to be fun. And if you've been listening to this and you do go up there because you heard this and you were inspired, then say hi. Please say hello to me. We'll take photos together. That sound good? Also, I just realized, got a text here through the pipeline that Philly Ocean, our lead singer, just became friends with Michael McDonald on Facebook. We are one step closer to having him jam with us, contribute to our madness. Who knows? Who knows? All right. I will talk more later, and there's a good chance, if it's not on this podcast, it'll be on the next podcast. Some various interviews that I'll be having with the Yachtly Crew guys, possibly even some sounds at the sound check. You never know. You ain't never ever gonna know until it's happening. Right? Until it's happening. Yo, this is Ice-T. I suggest you have an extraordinary day. I'm gonna be hanging out with Coco on the beach today. We're gonna be drinking some ice-cold lemonades, mixed with iced tea, of course. I really like my, what do they call that? Tom Collins? Something like that. You're mixing the lemonade with the iced tea. I prefer
just mostly iced tea, of course, 'cause that's my name. Why else would I not drink? Why would I not drink iced tea? Right? That would be just horrible. I do like me my coffee. I like my coffee like I like my wife Coco's butt. I like it strong and bouncy. I like my coffee like I like my cocoa. Strong and bouncy. And filled with a lot of oomph, if you catch my drift. I like it filled with a lot of oomph, if you know what I mean. No need to be scared. There ain't no need to be scared. That's coming from me. Iced tea.